Hi, and welcome to Bunny Hollow Crafts Christmas in July and Part 2. Let's put the pages in the album. Okay, to build pages, I'm going to continue to use my 65 pound. You could use 110, and a lot of people do, but I'm going to mat. Well, I'm not going to mat this because this is going to be an unfinished album. I'm going to put all that back and use 110 because I don't know the person who gets it whether they will mat it. But if you are matting and then putting on decorative paper, you've got that makes for plenty of strength for your album. So let me pull out some 110. And gosh, it's so thick. So there's one, there's two. Okay, we're going to cut these. I'm going to cut two at one time. I'm going to cut them at 8. By 8. So there's 2, we need 4, so 2 more. At 8 by 8. Okay, that's 4. Now you need 4 more. I'm going to take 2 again at a time. I'm going to do these 8. But this time by 9. That'll give us a 1/2 inch flap on either side. Don't you love Becky math? Okay, pull out your 12 by 12 and put those in the scrap bin. All right, so again, 8. By 9, and this time we have the length. All right, 8 by 9, and then 2 more 8 by 9. Okay, all of these to the scrap pile. Okay, take all your 4 that are 8 by 9 on the 9-inch side. You want to score at 8.5 and add a 1/2. Okay, when we fold those, that'll leave 8 in the middle that we will adjoin to those. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, put scoreboard and all that away for the minute. And let's fold and burnish these. I haven't made an album in a minute. This is fun. So fold all 4 of your corners. Let me just put a page together so I can show you how to do this. So pull one of your 8s over, okay? They're going to match up just like that. All right, so take your score tape, and this is where 3/8 of an inch is so popular because you have the 1/2 inch flap and it just fits perfectly. So score tape on either end, and then we'll attach this page together, and then I'll do the rest of them. So I definitely like using score tape wiggle room with glue is a good thing sometimes, but I don't find that to be true when you're putting pages together. I want to know that's going to stay where I put it. I don't know, your corners are too far apart for wiggle room to me. So take your tape off just at the corner, bend it out, bring your 8x8, start over here, get it square to those corners, hold it tight, check that lower corner, and when you are all settled with that, lay it down. Hold it tight and pull your tape. Okay? Now on this side, do the same thing. Pull your tape, lay this back down, take your hand and go this way so you don't have a bubble in the middle, and just lay it down. Okay, that's how you build your base pages. There's that will fit on top of our hinge that we just made. So let me put the rest of them together. All right, 4 pages are put together. So let's take one and start creating some fun on it. This is a piece that was in my scraps. It looks like it's about, yeah, it'll fit that way. So let's take a scoreboard and let's just score 1/2 inch. Where is my... Okay. I don't know where that went. It's probably right under me. So if it's 8 inches, this one is 8 by 7 3/4 if you want to know exactly. But I'm just going to score 1/2 inch. Fold and burnish. And we'll put that right there. And the pages I'll put on with glue. I don't mind that. Actually, I prefer the wiggle room here. You can snug it up where you want it. So make sure your page is to the side. You could put it at the top, you could put it wherever. And I'm just going to hit the middle and get it squared top to bottom. Okay, I've got glue dripping out, Kleenex. Okay, I like that to start off. What other scraps do I have? There's another one. You got to be careful when you're... I buy paper from both Michael's and Hobby Lobby, and all their whites are not the same if you haven't noticed that yet. So I'm just going to mark this. I think this is the same paper. I'm going to mark it with my pencil. Everything has gone away. Right there, so they're the same height. And I'm going to cut 1 inch off of it. Okay. So now it's more, it's not the same height. No, I didn't cut that edge. Do you like crafting with Becky? I just do things on the fly. I hope if you don't, please say so in the comments and I will try to accommodate. Okay, now, and I found my squirrel tool, there it was on that side. Now, these are the same height. Yes, they are. So I'm going to score 1/2 inch on this side and just put it on the other. It'll be facing it. So just 1/2 inch. I don't want to make my videos too long, and here's another thought. would you prefer it if I just wrote the sizes of these on there and just put the whole video and fast forward? Because you know how to score 1/2 inch and all that good stuff, right? So that's another idea. I'm just snugging this up to the side and hoping that we're good enough. Okay, so that gives us an open out for page 1. Page 2, here's one of my 12 by 12 scraps. Let's use it. Sorry for my arm. And we'll just build a pocket. So I know I want to cut the paper 9 inches long because our page is 8 inches. And that'll give us 1/2 inch on either side to fold for a flap. Okay, so scoreboard, and we're going to score around here 1/2 inch. So it says 4, I'm going to go to 3, 1/2 inch, and 1/2 inch. Okay, cut your corners. And it just reduces bulk and helps the pocket fold better. So fold it all up. And this should fit perfectly right there, and she does. And I think I'm just gonna make sure that my openings are on the side. I've made that mistake before, it's not fun. So just glue on your flaps. And I'm going to snug it right down to the bottom and to both sides. Beautiful. Okay, let's take another one of those because I like that width, I think. No, that's too skinny. What else do I have? That's heavier paper. I don't want to use heavy paper on my pages. I'll go with that. Okay, let's see how big this one is. This is 5 inches wide and 8.5 long. So let me score it. I'm going to score it so we know our pages are 8 inches long. I'm going to score it at 7.5 because I don't want it to be all the way to the bottom. Okay, I'm just going to cut off a little bit, making that sort of a 1/2 inch score. And glue. And I'm just going to get this as in the middle as I can. And all the way to the top. All right, so a flap and a pocket. And that finishes page 1. Okay, I took another one of these 4-inch wide 12 by 12s, cut it to 9. And we're going to score 1/2 inch on both ends. And we're just going to create a belly band for this page. Haven't done one of those in a while. And this will give us room to slip in some photo mats and things. So there's nothing on this one yet. Let's make sure our sides are to the side. You could have it like top to bottom. And then you'd be sure nothing would fall out, you know? You don't want it to fall out. I think I will put it top to bottom. Let's give it a try. That's also the nice thing about a square album. You have choices. Okay, so sort of in the middle, openings to the side. And just push her down. Oh yeah, that'll give us just a belly band and room to stick photo mats. All right, what more scraps do I have that could be fun? I'll figure it out. Okay, found 2 more scraps. They are 4 3/4 wide, and I cut them to 8 inches, so they're both the same. 4 3/4. I cut them both at the same time. So I'm going to score these a 1/2 inch on either side. I mean, once on each page. We'll put them on either side of the same page. All right, fold, burnish. Table is evidently not level. My things keep rolling. And we'll put these like gate folds. Okay. Okay, I was afraid I scored the wrong side, but that would have been impossible. I'm just thinking out loud. It is a beautiful day here. I hope it's beautiful where you are. South Carolina is a lovely, lovely place. So to this edge, my glue seeping out, I don't mind. I used to mind, and then I realized it's actually a good thing. Okay, so those will go like that. May do a magnet closure top and bottom. That could be kind of fun. We'll see. Got our belly band, so that's 2 pages. Okay, I'm gonna take 2 more 8.5 by 11s. I'm gonna cut them together actually to get the height right. So I want that at 8. Okay, and I'm gonna cut one to 7 inches. And one to 6 inches. Maybe 6.5. No, let's do 6.5. Okay, it gives me 2 more scraps. Put that away. And pull in the scoreboard. Okay, let's score them both down the long side, 1/2 inch. Fold and burnish. And we could put them at the top. And then one slightly longer than the other. My thought was to the side. And I think I will do this side because it looks too much like a waterfall like this, and I plan to do a waterfall. So let me burnish it really good rather than just folding it with my fingers. Get a nice crisp edge. And the bigger one I want to go first. So it's already the right height, so just attach it on that side. And then we're going to put glue on this one and glue it right on top. Okay, so that gives us sort of a sideways flip. And let's take one of those scraps that we had. And let's cut it down. I want to make a, I'll show you. Let's score 1/2 inch on the end. Fold. My idea is that it will go there and we'll make a magnetic closure for this. So let's cut it. I think it's too wide and too long, so we'll just cut it wherever we want to cut it. So if it's 4.5 inches, I think 3 would be better. And then it is, let's see, let's make it 5. We've already folded it, so that's our exact. All right, so a little glue on that. And just center it as best you can. And right to the edge. And pull out my basic gray magnets, if I can get them out. I have a very cute story about the plus sign. Or maybe it's an X, I don't know. My son, when he was 7, he's 30 now, but when he was 7, went to the eye doctor, or pediatrician, she was checking his vision. And they said, what is, you know, you had a tree, and because they're 6, 7 years old, they don't read yet, or not at that time. And he saw that, and they were thinking he would say a plus. And he said, it's a cross. Jesus died on the cross. And we're like, okay, we'll take that answer. It was so cute. It's just adorable. Okay, so take off your adhesive. Ouch, my fingers are cramping. No time for that. And let's put it face down right there. Okay, just kind of in the eyeball the middle. This wants to stick, and I want it to stick. Now I want my pokey tool. Boy, this is the video where everything is escaping me. Take your tape off. Not your tape, but your paper. Don't do it with the X-Acto knife. There. Okay, and then just hold this tight and close it up. Okay, and that will be magneted, and keep those papers in there. Something for the back. Okay, this is another piece of 8.5 by 11. I cut it down to 8 inches and then cut it in half on the 11-inch side. And I'm going to score on the short end 1/2 inch on both of them. Okay. Fold. I'm going to put one at the top and one at the bottom. And that's actually, they'll go like that. All right. So in the, let's make sure our sides are to the side. Yep. In the middle as best you can. I'll just eyeball it and get it snug up there. Press her down. And then flip her up. Glue on this one. Okay, I want to pull this one back down because I want to get these even. And this is why I like glue, because you can move things around. Okay, that's nice and smooth. Okay. But I want it like that. That way it'll, when you close it. All right, there's another page done. And we have one to go. All right. This is a piece of 8.5 by 11 that's 4 inches wide. I'm just going to score at the top a 1/2 inch for a flap. Actually, I'm going to score 7.5, so that way it won't come all the way to the very bottom. I don't want it the same length as my page. Okay, fold. That's going to go on this side. Can you see that? On that side. And these two are, let's measure them. They're exactly the same. They're 4 1/4 by 3 1/2. So I'm going to burnish, score a 1/2 inch, make a flap on the outside. You could score over there. I just do it over here. It's just a 1/2 inch. Okay. Let's fold, burnish. Make sure I did this one too. Okay, so let's glue all this stuff on here. So to the side. I have embraced taking off the fine metal tip. I find that the glue does not clog up on me anymore. And I'm very happy about that. So that's going all the way to the edge and snug to the top. Okay. And then these are going to go here and here. Can I get them even? I think I can. Okay. So we'll put this one to the very, very top. And this one right below it, and we'll try to make it even with that flap. I didn't think about that, but that would have been good to have thought about that. Okay, let's see if we can get it level with this edge. I think we can. I like it. So you have two that flip to the side and one that flips up. I'm going to have glue on the back of there. I don't know how it got there, but okay. So let's do a waterfall on the back and we'll be done. All right, let's measure. This is 6 pieces of paper. I cut 3 at a time and they are 5.5 by 5.5, so a square, okay? This piece is also cut at 5.5. It's just half of a piece of 8.5 by 11 we're going to build on top. We'll trim later. Okay, so let's just score a 1/2 inch on each one of these. And full disclosure, I'm going to trim my sides with my X-Acto knife and my ruler. I find this is just a stress-free way to do it. So it'll go right there. And having the base gives you sides to nudge up against, and it gives you a better shot at getting it square and flush and straight and beautiful. But I struggle with that, so I will trim it. And that way I allow myself extra room because I know I'm going to trim it. And even if you didn't have extra room, it would be okay because you're only cutting off a fraction of an inch. I just like it to be crisp and clean. I think it looks better, and it's the finish, just the details that make all the difference in an album. I need a drink. I'm starting to get hoarse. down to the last one at 5. And fold. Okay, scoreboard can go away. Let's burnish these really nice so they'll be real nice and crisp. I guesstimated with 6. I thought I had 4 papers, 2 in my hands, but there were actually 3, so. But I think 6 will work. And 6 would be nice if it would work. The more the merrier. Okay. All right, so glue. Let me clean my tip off. Where's my Kleenex? There it is. Okay, so glue on your first one. And try to smudge it up straight to the top and square to the sides. So you see the sides? Actually, I strive for one side. See, that's over a little bit. So if you can get one side clean, then you only have to cut one side. I've not had success, but I'm going to try that this time. Okay. Now your successive ones that go on, I find it much smarter, flip this up, to make sure that's pretty in here. Because you can't fix that. If you try to get it square, but these aren't nudged up together, then it's not pretty. And see, it's coming in a little bit right there. I don't care. It's going off a little there. I don't care. It's too easy to correct it. So I don't stress about it anymore. I gave that up when I figured out the beauty of the score blade and the ruler, or the knife and the ruler. So straight up to the middle. Pretty inside. I've got to where I don't even look at the outsides anymore, really, because I know I'm going to trim it. And for you, those of you out there who can make a beautiful waterfall, congratulations. I'm not one of you. I mean, I can make one, but I can't do it without, trimming it. So 2 more and we'll be done, except to make it pretty. So nice and snug. And 1 more. Okay, all back down. And see, it's off. I did a little better on that side, but I really don't care. I gave that up. So ruler and X-Acto knife. All right, I have glue somewhere, I can feel it. All right, line it up on a line on your mat. Try to get one side on a line, okay? See, now I have this blue line coming right. I'm gonna go for that blue line because I know that'll be nice and square. So line my ruler up on that blue line and the blue line down at the bottom. Hold your ruler really tight when you get it where you want it. And just gentle passes. I hope this is my new blade. I don't know if it is or not. If it's not, it's going to take several. But just slow and easy wins the race. And you'll end up with a beautiful, I feel like I just slipped, a beautiful waterfall. Just keep at it. I feel like I'm through it. I'm also feeling like this is my old blade. Let me take a look and see where we are. Yeah, we're done. I know why it's having trouble up there, because that's where it's thickest. Actually, I'm going to fix that with my little snips. That's nothing. Okay, so that side is completely clean. Little thread there, completely clean, see? And who cares about this little bit of mess? It goes right in the trash can, and it's just fractions of inches. Okay, let's do the other side. Okay, line up your bottom and your side with a line. This time I don't have a line to go by, so I'm just gonna eyeball it and get it. I'm gonna line up a line on here. See, there's always ways to measure. And I feel like that's pretty straight. Okay. Where's my other one? Let's try the other one, see if I have better luck with this one. Oh, yes, this is the newer one. I can tell. Oh my gosh, this is the newer blade. Yeah, that's definitely the newer blade. And look, it's beautiful. And who cares, right? Where's our page? Let's pull in a page. Where did my page go? Time out. All right, this is our last page. Opens to the side. My waterfall is going to go right in the middle. This is our base that we built on. I think I'm going to cut it right. I'm just going to make a mark and cut it right there, and it will give one more place, right, for a photo. So I'm just going to take my pencil and mark it and cut that off. Okay, it looks like part of the waterfall now, right? All right, so page open into the side. I think I'm gonna put, you know, if it were me and I was doing this album for me, I would wait because I like to get my pattern paper under here. But I'm giving this away as an unfinished album. I guess I'm going to stick it down. I think that's, I'm thinking if I don't, they might not know how, I don't know. So I'm just going to put, I am going to use score tape because I want it to stick well. I hate it when it does that. It's not a problem, but I hate it when it does that. Okay, and I have room for one in the middle. And that'll be a generous amount. I like this wide stuff. Okay, burnish it down really well. Turn it around and do that way. Okay. That's where it ripped my paper just a little bit. You won't see it on the other side. See, it's clean. All right, let's pull in our page. Make sure we're, yeah, those open to the side. Okay. And we'll just, I'm just gonna peel off the tapes and go for it. Excuse my head if it gets in here. Going right there. Okay, I don't know what that was. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you could put a picture right there for 7. And of course you've got all the backside to put it on too. And it's nice and crisp and clean, and that completes 4 pages. I may put some little magnets in here, probably will if I can find my little ones. But that's 4 pages. Let me bring them in. Like I can find them. Here they are. It's been a long afternoon, but I've gotten it all done in one day. So that goes top to bottom, remember? And that we did put a magnet in, so it goes this way. There's our belly band and our gate folds, which I'll probably put a magnet in. And here's our pocket with our flap and our opening out. All right, next step, to put these in the album. Now, if I were decorating this album, I would decorate these pages right here and now. I think it's very hard to decorate an album once it's in the book. But again, I'm giving away a blank album. And it's not undoable, it's just harder, okay? Much easier to do it out of the book. So we'll put them in the book and be done. I put my album sideways because we still need to put score tape on our hinges. Okay, so lay them flat away from you. Go to the top. You want these at the top because when you put your pages in, your pages can't go all the way to the bottom. I was saying that when I was building the hinge. I was upside down and not thinking. Excuse. Burnish well. Do it on both sides, up at the top. I do know how to make albums. I don't always explain it flawlessly. It's very hard to get the words to come out right. Okay, and one last one. Okay. So burnish that down really well. And back this way because you want the very ends so that your tape will peel off nice. Okay, we have no top or bottom. I guess it doesn't matter. Let's just start. So to put your pages in, you want to take your pokey tool and peel back your tape. And here's where you'll be glad you have the tape at the top and you're missing. See how high up it is? You have no tape down in there. Because when you put your page in, make sure like there's a pocket, make sure the pocket's down. You want to put your fingers inside, get it on your hinge, slide it over. It's not over. Okay. And then you want to look for, before you push it down, I'm not pushing it against the tape. As a matter of fact, I'm pulling it away from the tape. You want to look top and bottom, make sure your page is in there square in the middle. And you want to go about not a quarter, but I'll show you. Lay it down, push, and pull your tape. And I'll show you how far I stayed away from the bottom. If you can tell, right in there. That way when your page comes up, if it was too close, it wouldn't bend over nice. So now that we're on that side, let's reach in there with that pokey tool and pull the tape out. And pull slow. I've ripped it before. And then it's a hunting expedition. That can be done, but it's not fun. Okay, that first page, kind of like that middle spine that we laid down, tells the tone for the rest of this. So here's our next page. Our belly band goes top to bottom. Okay, hands in the middle. Peel back the tape. Okay, fit it on near the back. Hold it away from your tape. Bring this page up. Kind of sandwich them together so that you know they're going to be nice and tight. And then push. And pull your tape. Reach up inside, grab that, and pull and push your paper down. Okay, there's 2 pages in. Okay, 3rd page. Find your middle. Sometimes it's hard to find your middle. Remember, we put 2 layers on there and it gets thick. So, okay, pull your tape. Fit it on there. Doesn't feel like it went on there. There we go. I'm just going to push because I feel like that's right. Yeah. Okay. Pull the tape. And the last one, this will be our waterfall, and I don't even remember what's on the other side of it. But we'll put the waterfall to the back because we had a little more space back there, if you remember. I will come back and put magnets on there. I think it would be nice. And see, it's nice making your hinge shorter. Remember when we made it 7 3/4? So you have that space to a little bit of wiggle room. Okay? If your hinge was the same as your page, you'd struggle getting it on there. Okay, that album is done. So I will come back and put a magnet. Those seem to want to stay. Usually that would flip open. I'll think about that one, or I may come up with some little closure for that. That's fine. This could probably use something. Our belly band. We did put a magnet here to hold. Why is that? Oh no, why is that done like that? Saved the day. My goodness, I guess glue seeped out of there, but it's going to be just fine. Okay, so these are our... Goodness! I'm glad I'm doing this walkthrough. All right, maybe I'm not into my glue with the out the fine point. I'm gonna take my little shovel. This is not happening. The pages are in the dadgum book. Okay, if this were my album, and it may be at this point, you can see once you covered that with paper, you'd never see that. Let's see what other surprises we have in store. That moves freely. This moves. That moves. Our waterfalls good? Okay, I'm leaving that in because that's reality. Now, where in the world would I get ink? Reality. I'll clean that up. And otherwise, it's a beautiful album. It really is. All right, and they're in there nice and evenly. I'm gonna call that a win, even though we had an issue. And I'm gonna go wash my hands. Thank you for watching, guys. Any questions, please put them in the comments below. And as always, thank you to my new subscribers. I really can build an album, guys. I really can. I think maybe this thing needs a fine point tip. I don't know. I'm still trying to embrace it. Have a great day, guys.